Hi, I am S. Vigneshwaran, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE from SNS College of Technology, and I am here to handle the course on electrical engineering and instrumentation. And today we can see our first unit, that is DC machines. Our first unit is DC machines. As coming to the term DC machine, we have come across several DC machines from our childhoods. From our childhood stage, we will be using a remote core or any other core with a motor, the direct current motor, DC motor. So DC motor is a DC machine, as well as a DC generator is also an DC machine. DC machine is classified as a DC motor as well as DC generator. So let us take an example for a DC. I will show a demonstration for the DC machine. So this is a DC motor. This DC motor can be powered using two terminals, positive and negative. There is no polarity, can connect anyway. If you change the direction, change the polarity, the motor shaft direction will be changed. So this is a DC motor. I have to power an external DC source. I can use this battery to drive this. I can use this battery to drive the shaft. Similarly, DC machine is a DC motor and DC generator. The construction of DC generator and DC motor are almost the same. So this DC motor can also be used as a DC generator. So let us see a demo. I have connected the two terminals where we have to connect the battery is connected to the LED, 12 volt LED. Suppose if I am turning this, you can see this DC motor behaves as a DC generator. When I applying a mechanical energy, I am getting an electrical output. Similarly, when I am applying if I am removing this LED and connecting a battery, this shaft will get rotates. If I change the polarity, this shaft direction will be changed. So this is what a DC generator. So let us start our unit with the construction of DC machine. So we have seen our demonstration. Now let us get into our topic. This is our overview of our presentation. We are going to see what is DC machine and what is the construction of DC machine, EMF equation and theory of operation in this video. So first thing is we have to know what is DC machine. As we demonstrated what is DC machine, once again we can give a definition of the DC machine. The electromechanical energy conversion device. DC machine is an electromechanical energy conversion device, and it is classified as DC generator and DC motor. When mechanical energy is converted to electrical energy, it is a DC generator, and electrical to mechanical, it is a DC motor. So before getting into the topic, we have to have the prerequisite knowledge on this electricity, charge, static electricity and magnetism. So as these things are covered in your previous subjects like electronic devices and circuits, circuit analysis and physics, now we can directly get into our topic on construction of DC machine. So empathy, as we are design thinkers, we have to see the empathy of our topic of discussion. So construction of DC machine, what is the empathy in this? The motor is used in the location where they are exposed to dust and moisture. This may affect the performance of motor. So and hence it is required to have an enclosure. We have seen and motor have an enclosure to protect the dust and moisture inside it to ensure the safety operation and efficient working of the DC machine. We have to ensure the enclosure is properly designed to make it dirt proof, fire proof, and according to the requirement of an user. So designer, manufacturer will get into the user requirement. If it is used in a toy, there is no need of such a rigid construction. But when it is used in somewhere like home appliances, or it is used in a power plant, the construction should be rigid to safeguard the motor itself or machine itself, and to safeguard the others who are going to get contact to the DC machine. So this is the construction, a 3D design, 3D diagram of the construction of DC machine is shown here. So, and the parts are listed out from 1 to 12. So there is a shaft. You know what is shaft? Shaft is the where we get the output, mechanical output, or where we give our mechanical input. So this is a shaft. You can point number 1, end bearings. End bearings is the shaft which is connected to the end bearings. Commutators, brushes, armature, main pole field winding, frame, end shield, ventilator, basement, bearings. These are the major parts of any construction of major parts in any construction of DC machine. Construction of DC machine. In this diagram we can see the construction of DC machine in a two-dimensional picture. So this is will be very useful for us to understand what is DC machine. The previously we have seen 12 parts. In this we have divided the parts into two, stator and rotor. Any machines will have two major parts. One is stator, another one is rotor. Stator is will house the field windings. The field windings, pole shoes will be connected to the stator, and in rotor is the rotating magnetic field. Stator, it is named as stator because it is a stationary part, and rotor is a rotating part, so we called it as a rotor. Rotates in the magnetic field. Rotor will get rotates in the magnetic field. So other parts of the DC machines are yoke. Yoke is an outermost protection layer, outermost shell is called as a yoke. Poles. Poles is a magnet. Either it is an electromagnet or permanent magnet. This is an poles. Field windings. Field windings. The poles winding in the field is called field windings. In the stator, this will comes in the stator part. Armature winding is an brush. Armature winding will be coming under the rotor, and this the windings in the armature contactors, brushes. So we are going to list out and see the each components, each functions like stator, rotor, and other parts in detail. So stator parts. These are the stator parts. Stator frame. The stator frame will consist of nameplate, terminal box, and basement. This provides the mechanical support to an entire internal parts and external parts of the DC machines, which provides pole plugs and carry half of it. Stator core, yoke mechanical support. Stator core is a mechanical support. Stator frame consists of nameplate, terminal box, and basement. Stator core, it is a yoke mechanical support. Yoke is called a stator core. Field windings produce stator magnetic flux and main flux. Therefore, main flux is produced by the stator magnetic in the field windings. Field winding will create this main flux. Commutator poles. It is an interpoles improving commutation. Commutator avoids spots between brush and commutator. This commutator poles will be used to avoid the spots between brush and commutator. Then compensation windings in large DC machines only. This compensation windings will be used in large DC machines only, placed in slots connected in series with armature winding, cancels armature reactions and flux leaking. So this is the main purpose of compensation winding. Then brushes. Brushes are attached to the stator to collect the current from commutator. Rotor parts. Rotor core. Rotor parts are rotor core, armature winding, large number of coils, each coils having one or more turns. Coils embedded in rotor slots. Each side of turns is called conductor. Each side of turn is called conductor. Then rotor shaft, bearing to support, a bearing is used to support the rotor shaft. Commutator mounted on the shaft insulated each other. Commutator converts, the main function of this commutator is an rectification. It converts AC to DC. As we know that any generation can be only AC, uh, and it should be converted to DC through rectifier. So DC can't be directly produced, it can be produced only by using a battery. If you are generating through some other methods, we have to generate AC and rectify, change the alternating current into direct current. uh, so this is what the rotor parts. This is the armature core. You can see that armature, this is the rotor. Armature core is the rotor. You can see armature core cylindrical in shape. This is a cylindrical rotor. This is cylindrical in shape. A laminated circular steel disc. It is a laminated circular steel disc. This lamination is made to provide any eddy current loss in the rotor, and it is provided with air ducts for air circulations and flux distributions. Types of armature core. The armature core is have two types of windings. One is lap winding, another one is wave winding. In lap winding, number of parallel paths A is equal to number of poles. If there is a 4-pole DC machine, then there will be number of parallel paths will be 4. This will be used in high current rating generator. Lap windings will be used in high current rating generators. Wave winding. This windings travels ahead, avoid the overlapping. Number of parallel paths will be A is equal to 2. Irrespective of number of poles, the parallel paths will be A is equal to 2. It will be constant number. This type of lap winding, wave winding numbers will be used in the problem solving when we come across problems in DC generator or DC motor. Then commutator, we can already discuss that. Commutator plus armature conductors consist of set of copper segments. That we can see that different segments in the rotor part at the end, between the coils and the shaft. You can see segments. This, as we discussed, this the main purpose of this segment commutator is to convert alternating current to DC current. So function of commutator. So this was the pictorial representation of commutator. First one is generated DC output. First two diagrams represents generated AC output. You can see the arrow mark at the load. In the first diagram, you can see the arrow mark going to the right side. In the second diagram, you can see that arrow mark is going to the left side. This clearly indicates that there is a change in polarity. In first diagram, it is from left to right, and in the second diagram, right to left. When in the last third and fourth diagrams, case 1 and case 2 of second half, the third and fourth diagram, you can see the load current is same. This is achieved by using the commutator. In the first two, there is a slip ring arrangement. In the last two, there is a commutator. So commutator and brush arrangements make the current to flow in unidirectional, in the same direction. There is no change in current direction. So we have produced an AC to DC by using this commutator arrangement. If we need AC as an AC generator or AC output, we can use first two diagrams. Our objective of construction is to mainly for converting AC to DC. So for this we can use a rectified DC output. Last two diagrams are the arrangements clearly shown how to rectify AC to DC and what is the purpose of commutator in a DC machine. And theory of operation of DC machine, it clearly shown by our shown in the animation. When there is a change in magnetic field, an EMF is induced in the conductor, and this change in EMF, you can see when there is a movement, it experiences a change in magnetic field. Movement of the conductor, there is a change in magnetic field that in turn shown the EMF in the galvanometer. So first law and second law. As the first law states that any change in magnetic field of coil of wire will cause an EMF to be induced in the coil. This is what's shown in the diagram. When the coil moves, it experiences a change in magnetic field, and this change in magnetic field create an EMF, and this EMF is indicated by using the galvanometer. This induced EMF in turn will produce an current if it is an closed circuit. If it is a and if conductor circuit is closed, the current will also circulate through the circuit, and this current is called as induced current. So Faraday's second law, it said that magnetic of EMF coil is magnitude of EMF induced in the coil is rate of change of flux that linkage with the coil. So Faraday's law of induction shown that induced EMF is equal to minus n. So number of loops, n is number of loops, and rate of change of flux with time. Number of loops into rate of change of flux with time. So it shows the flux linkage of the coil is the product of number of turns in the coil and flux associated with the coil. So EMF induced is directly depends on the number of flux linkage of the coil is the product of number of turns in the coil and flux associated with the coil. So this is the Faraday's law of induction. So induced EMF can be calculated by in the product of number of loops into rate of change of flux with time. This is the Maxwell's right hand grip rule and right hand corkscrew rule. This magnetic field, if you take a screw, if this is the magnetic field and current will flow downwards. This is the Maxwell's corkscrew rule, and let us assume this is the current. This fingers current direction, and field. This is our poles. This is our field, and this is our current. So this is Maxwell's right hand grip rule and right hand corkscrew rule. Principle of operation of DC motor. If we look at this air gap between two magnets that have their opposite poles facing each other, we would see magnetic lines of force from the north pole to south poles. So opposite poles of magnets are placed in a gap. You can see that magnetic lines of force flux from north to south pole. Now if we place a current carrying conductor in the air gap of the two magnets, the line of flux in the air gap will be affected. The line of flux in the air gaps will be affected. On the side of the conductor where the line of flux are not opposing each other, the magnetic field will be stronger. On the side of the conductor where the line of flux are not opposing each other, the magnetic field will be made stronger. On the side of the conductor where the line of flux oppose each other, magnetic field will be weaker. So as usual, because of the strong field on one side and strong field on other side, this conductor will be pushed from the stronger side to the weaker side. This is how there is a movement, the mechanical energy is created in the DC machine. And this is the EMF equation of our DC generator. EMF equation in terms of a DC generator, it is an EMF equation, EMF generated. In terms of DC motor, then it is called as back EMF. So EMF generator, E is equal to pi PNZ by 60E. Pi is flux produced by each pole in Webers. P is number of poles of generator. If it is a 4 pole or 6 pole or 8 pole, P is the number of poles. N is speed in RPM. N is speed in RPM. Z is total number of armature conductors. Z is total number of armature conductors. A is equal to number of parallel paths in which Z number of conductors are divided. A is equal to number of parallel paths in which Z number of conductors are divided. A is equal to P for lap winding, as we have discussed already. A is equal to P for lap winding and A is equal to 2 for wave winding. So this is the EMF equation of a DC generator. So EMF equation E is equal to pi Pn Z by 60A. This armature A is number of parallel paths. It depends on lap connection and wave connection. If it is lap connection, A is equal to P, and if it is wave connection, A is equal to 2. N is speed in RPM. Z equal to total number of armature conductors. Flux produced by each pole is 5. So this is the EMF